hype and all the stuff that I hated about network marketing. And I found out that it is about the passion. Okay, but passion doesn't have to be loud. Passion doesn't have to be boisterous. Or, you don't have to have a type A personality to have passion. Okay, some of the most passionate people are some of the quietest, humble people. And it all, like I said before, it all comes back to how hungry you are. I tell people all the time, I don't care if you're a doctor or a ditch digger, you can do this business. Your past, you got to change your mindset. But more important, skills are great. You can learn a lot of skills, but it's more important how hungry you are. Your hunger for how bad you want this. You see anybody who succeeded. I start looking for people who are hungry. Okay? To me, if you want to know what to look for in people more than anything else, find somebody who has some pain, like Eric Warren was talking about. Find somebody with pain and show them how this could be an answer. Even use the if I would you invite. If I could show you a way that this could help with XYZ pain, okay? You get more time with your family, you have more time, whatever it is, But final comment on that is you don't pay your bills with other people's opinions. If a flake can do this, anybody can do it.
I don't think he's shy and nervous anymore. Rosa, we know you have been successfully doing network marketing for about 18 years. How important do you think it is to focus on just one business?
That's everything. It's a lie that you can build 2 or more network marketing businesses at a time and being big in one of them. It's a lie. I think that the worst thing we can do is to borrow our ears to someone else, to explain their opportunity to us. If I know I find a goal of mine here, I don't need to see anything else. I don't need to be comparing or just to know what else is out there. We don't need that. We just have something uncommon, huge, that if we don't build it, we will regret for the rest of our lives. And let me share a little story, because I have learned this the hard way 15 years ago. I was in this company, and it was a new company with good products, not as good as we have, but good products with compensation plan. And they were new, so they were confronting the growing pains that is normal. And I, start listening to other offers. When you have some results, it's common to you to have people calling you, offering upfront money and offers. And if you have the immediate satisfaction mentality, you can make a big mistake. And that was what happened to me in that moment. A few years later, of course I go to another business, and a few years later I doesn't have anything in my hand. The company that I moved to disappeared, and all my friends that were in that other company are making today more than $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 monthly. So thanks God I learned, because and thanks God that LifeVantage appears, because right now I have something bigger than that one, and I really say to everybody not to listen, focus on this. There's nothing, it will be decades from now, and maybe never, that something like LifeVantage appears to our lives. And my husband teach me something that I think is very wise. He says, the pain of sacrifice is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts for a lifetime.
Sean, how do you maintain your energy, focus, and optimism while building the business?
Massive and massive amounts of Axial. We actually have an IV drip in our office. Have you guys seen my upline? They are the craziest group of women that you'll ever meet. And, you know, I'm very, very different from my wife. I often joke about her being rainbows and butterflies, and I'm very black and white. And the energy that she draws from being around people, it isn't necessarily me. And I love to be out, I love to work with people, but then I need to come back and have a little bit of solitude to rebuild that energy. And, you know, I think it's different for everybody. It really is. And you have to surround yourself with great people who complement your weaknesses. And in the corporate world, we spent time, hours and hours and hours looking at people's weaknesses and focusing on that. And I think if we would have a mind shift to where we realize what our weaknesses are and just offset it with other people who have greatness in those areas, there's no limit on what we can do. And in the corporate world, you guys, I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but I was always paid more money to be better than the people around me. I always was. That next raise, that next promotion, it demanded that I separate myself from my peers. So I had zero incentive to tell anybody why I was good at what I did. And it's the exact opposite in this compensation plan, and it took me a while to figure that out. Is when somebody really asks you how they can help, they mean it. They mean it, because there's a direct correlation between how many people we help and the success that we can have. And there isn't anything better than that. You know, speaking of that energy and that optimism and that focus that we have, I cannot believe they let us chug a bunch of Axio before we come on stage and then expect us to sit in these chairs for 45 minutes because I'm having a hard time doing it. I want to be up and moving. But the reality of this is what you make of it. And you can take that energy and put it into the negative. You can spin and find ways for all of this to look wrong, to look not right, to look like the timing isn't great. It's never going to be perfect, you guys. There's always going to be things that come up. But you can choose to focus on what is good and what is going right. Because I don't think in the last 5+ years that I've been involved that we've ever stood as such a united company and focused on moving things forward. You guys agree? So take this, bottle this up, and every time that you have one of those days that starts out that, you know, you don't want to do what you know you should do, take that jar out and open a little bit of this feeling that you have, this emotion that you have right now, and use that to propel you to the next event. Because this business, if anybody told you it's easy, they lied to you. Okay, it's not complicated. This is the easiest business I've ever done in my life. Okay, as far as complexity. But it's hard up here. And we have to maintain that right mindset to get where we want to get. So you have to attend these events to stay focused, to stay energized, to get people where they want to get. And if you're not here, you miss it. And it's a long time to that next event if you don't get to bring back that little bit of energy for the next 90 to 120 days.
Sam, people on your team know how passionate you are about being consistent. Why do you believe in the system so much and promote it so much within your team?
Everybody on my team can know what I teach about the system. You guys is a part of the system. We're here because of the system. I love the system. The system takes a huge burden off of our shoulders. The goal in this business is not to be a hero. The goal in this business is not to be a shining light. The goal in this business is to push it away from you. The goal in this business is to shine the light on other people. And the system allows you to live a life, really. Because systems don't fail people, people fail systems. And what is the system? Okay, well, I mean, there's definitely a few things everybody agrees on, no matter what leader you are. 15 or more presentations a month, right? Okay? Never miss an event. That's these elite academies and conventions, and it's also never miss one of the monthly trainings. And now with this new, I want to tell you something real quick. I want to personally thank everybody who's been praying for this company, all of the corporate and pro tens for coming together, for swallowing their pride or anything that may have happened, because I've been praying for years, for months for that to happen. I've been praying specifically for those monthly trainings that we have come together. I think that is, thank you, pro tens, thank you so much. And the system it was hard for me. I didn't understand it. But my first 2 elite academies, I went there all by myself. Anybody here all by themselves? Nobody else on their team? Okay? I understand it. I was there. I usually was in the very back because it was closer to the bathrooms, for one. Because I didn't really care about being in the front. But now it makes sense. It didn't make sense because you don't make any money. You lose money coming to this, right? You lose money going to those trainings. I love my evenings. I love my Saturdays. I hated driving 3 hours one way to Phoenix, 3 hours back, one Saturday a month, plus doing another super Saturday. We do 2. I teach my team 2 a month. And then, giving up that Saturday, giving up the evenings. But what I know is I don't know what else to say. Systems don't fail people, people fail systems. I don't know anybody who's done 15 or more presentations a month, never missed a monthly training, never missed an elite academy or convention that has not had success. They've done it a year or more. Anybody know anybody that's done that? Never seen it. That's the system. It's just that simple. So I'm a huge believer in the system. I mean, Don Elgin from Canada, and probably others from Canada, drove 28 hours to get here. 28 hours. Our Hawaii team would fly to Orlando, tons of money, fly to Oahu to the monthly training. And the people that make the most sacrifices are the people that usually grow the most.
Thank you, Sam. Rick, time for one more question, and Sean, it is yours.
Wow.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Every business has obstacles it faces. How do you deal with these hurdles?
So let me get this right, Kelly. You're telling me that this is not the perfect business? That we have obstacles and hurdles?
Maybe a few.
That's crazy. I'll remember going to our first event and a distributor standing on stage and saying, you build this residual income and you get to sleep until you're done sleeping. Do any of you guys have kids? Because 9 and 11, I don't care what rank you're at, I'm not done sleeping when they're ready to get up. So the challenge that we face is this: there isn't a perfect business. There really isn't. You just got to find something that's better than anything else for you. And I'll contend that this is pretty darn close for me. And over the last 5 years, we've seen some difficult things. There's times that Michelle and I talk, and it's amazing that we're here, that this company survived what we've dealt with. But it's because of the people that we have on board here. The people that this company attracts is unbelievable. And we're often in situations that we think to ourselves, there's a reason God put that person in front of us today. And it happens all the time. And, there's companies that come and go. There's corporate executives that come and go. But the reality of it is you get to choose whether you come and go, right? Who's in this for the long haul? Who's going to do that walk? It's not going to let, regardless what happens, change your belief that you're going to the top or getting wherever you want to get with this, okay? And I'll tell you this, I want to make two strong things that I believe in, that I stand strong on. And one of them is the protection that we have to hold to make sure this doesn't go away. And there's a couple things that are huge distractions, okay? And I stand firm that there's a set playlist of rules that we need to play within. And there's some people that try to bend those rules, and they're putting the company in jeopardy for all of us. Okay? So, if you know somebody that's selling this stuff on Amazon, tell them to knock it off. Protect this company. Because I do want to pass this on to my kids. Okay? Makes a little, there's some people squirming in their chairs right now, I promise you. But they put it in jeopardy for me to pass this on to my kids, and that's not okay. And the other thing that I want to say is this, is there is not a greener grass, a greener yard on any side of any other fence. Okay? You can look for it, but it doesn't exist. And you're going to make a bad choice. There's people today with 1 foot out the door. Shame on you. Because I promise you, this leadership is not stopping, with or without anybody else, okay? We've got things to do and things to change, and we will make the world a better place. I promise you that.
We all know we feel better when we are healthy, but life doesn't always cooperate. Stressful days sitting at a desk, hectic weekends in the car, and unhealthy meals on the run expand your waistline and drain you of the energy you need to do something about it. Quick fixes like fad diets, extreme exercise routines, and starving yourself with juice cleanses only make things worse by sending you further out of balance, and they are simply unsustainable in the long run. Next time you wake up, give your body the boost it needs with our proven physique weight management system. Using these products together, you immediately begin to recharge and rebalance your body's internal weight management system. This comprehensive approach helps kickstart the body's ability to lose weight, supports optimal digestion and immune function, and assists in building and maintaining lean muscle mass. Physique Cleanse uses natural ingredients to gently stimulate healthy digestion and remove toxins and waste while supporting your body's innate cleansing function. A clean digestive system is the foundation of any successful weight management program. Start your day with Physique Fat Burn, utilizing natural fat burners like citrus and green coffee bean extract. Physique Fat Burn stimulates your body to break down abdominal fat and supports you in long-term weight management. With 6 strains of probiotics protected with biotracked controlled release technology and combined with Wellmune, Physique Probio is scientifically created to support optimal digestion and immune system function. The Physique Protein Shake combines fast and slow-release proteins to immediately curb your appetite, support quick workout recovery, and help you build and maintain lean body mass, which helps you burn fat more effectively. Everything in the Physique line is designed to work together to recharge and rebalance your body's internal weight management system, delivering real, lasting results. Physique by LifeVantage, combining the wisdom of nature with the reliability of science.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage LifeVantage Sales Manager Jessica Alarcon.
presenters. They are very dear to my heart. They are great leaders. They are from Tampa, Florida, and they've been with Life Vantage for 3.5 years. Nate and Dolly Koch are examples of true leadership, perseverance, and faith in this business. They never gave up when faced with challenges. Dolly is a fighter and cancer survivor. Nate, a loving husband that has been with her by her side from day one. They are sweet and loving leaders that have helped their team get to bigger ranks. They've been with them through the whole way. They expanded successfully their business into the Latino market. Dolly has siblings in the lead and premier ranks. She has 2 siblings that are Pro 7, Sheila and Javier, and one of the premier ranks, Licelis, in Puerto Rico. Their story is truly inspiring, so let's hear it directly from them. So let's give it up for lead Pro 7, Nate and Dolly Koch.
It's a pleasure to be with you. You know.
Can I say one question?
Oh, absolutely.
¿Cómo está mi familia La Levante? Sorry.
You know, our lives are like a book that has not been finished. Till we die, we're writing chapters in those books. And you know, when you think about our lives, sometimes those chapters in our lives are chapters that have helped us, but at the same time, maybe we would love to do something different in those chapters. You know, when I think about the chapters growing up, my mother and father, my father was an excellent provider, but you know, he traded time for money, just like a lot of guys, and my father never really had a chance to spend any time with us in regards to like when I was going to school. You know, I don't know if a lot of you can relate to that, but you know, I would have loved my father to be able to be with me when we went on school trips. And so it just didn't feel right. I thought that that's the only thing that I could do with my life. And so I followed in his footsteps for a long time. But that entrepreneurial side of me, it kept telling me that I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be able to have that situation for my chapters in my life. And so one of the things that I did, thinking that this was the right thing to do, is I got into real estate. And I don't know about anybody out there who has engaged in real estate, but real estate can be a great thing and it can be a very, very difficult thing. Because when the money's coming in great, it's great. In 2009, I experienced an amazing deflation of my situation. My wife and I went through incredibly hard times. And some of you have probably done the same thing. And so when we get into those types of situations, we realize that we need a different avenue. And I didn't know what that was. So I found out that through Introduction to Life Vantage, it would offer me a different way. You know, our lives have to have purpose. Our purpose is really to be able to share things with other people and to have hope for the future. And you know, that's what it's given me. It's given me an opportunity to have hope for the future. And I don't have a lot of time to explain this. It's a lifetime that we have to fit into it. But my hope for the future is I'm so grateful to Life Vantage and to residual income. And there's a more important thing that we need to consider. And that, well, our story is important, but our why is important too. So I'm going to give it up for my wife.
Thank you.
I want to share with you the importance of your why, and it's a very special topic because, you know what, on Monday when you go back home, it's going to be you and your decision all along, right? So when you're going to start writing your story, because that's the first thing that you want to really get is your story, right? You want to connect with people with your story, but you have to connect with yourself first. So ask yourself this question: why is it really important to you? Why? Because let me tell you one thing, this business is amazing, but it's not easy. So if your why is, well, I want to make a lot of money. I mean, we need money, right? It's like oxygen. It's not going to happen right away. You're going to work so hard at first, and you're not going to see the money right away. You're going to give up. So you have to be very much in touch with that why. That way you know how to choose love. Number two is this: life happens. Let me tell you, it happens, and you have no control. I know that because after 3 months of working for LifeVantage, they diagnosed me with cancer. When I heard that word, I thought about my family, my kids, and I was mad at myself. I was so mad. You know why? Because I had a chance to work in this industry for 2 years, and I said no. We said no, we didn't know. So here I am 3 months after, thinking, what do I have for my kids? How can they be ready if something happened to me? Not only that, but I also faced the fear of my past. See, I lost my mom when I was only 10 years old. I didn't want my kids to face the same experience. I know how hard it is to be without her. So if you have a family, if you really love them, make a decision right now. Do something about it. That's our why. We love our kids. We have a big family. We have 4 and 4. We have it. We love doing volunteer work, and because of LifeVantage, we have a choice to do use the time the way we want to use it, and this is how we love to use it. So we want to share with you a beautiful video. It's only 2 minutes, and I think you're going to really enjoy it.
You could go and start again someplace new. You could go and start your life again. The day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. If you really stop and you make the list of what is stopping you, you can knock them down. Ultimately, the thing that stops you is your mindset. The best way to predict the future is to invent it yourself. What is it that gets you up in the morning, gets you excited? What do you want to do as a kid? How would you really go and make an impact on the world? The question is, what do you want to do?
Our minds possess powers we have not even begun to tap into. This is difficult, however, in a culture that emphasizes material means, technology, money, connections, as the answer to everything. We place unnecessary limits on what the mind can accomplish, and that becomes our reality.
We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out.
If you're scared, that is the thing you need to do. Fear is the indicator of the next thing. It is the green light, not the red light. It's not the caution light. Switch your thinking to say, if I'm scared, I need to do it.
Be realistic and patient. The second tip that I would definitely want people to understand is that you are in control of what happened.
Please welcome to the stage LifeVantage President and CEO, Darren Jensen.
We now come to one of my favorite times in the program where we introduce our LifeVantage heroes. But before I do that, I'm going to deviate from our script a little bit. I don't know if on the screen, if you can zoom in on the pin. Have you guys seen these magic match pins that Michelle talked about the other day? Okay. Remember, this is for the little kids that are normally outside the doors and they're doing the little magic tricks to earn money for our charity. And the charity is to build, right now, is to build 2 homes. That's our target. And each home is $30,000. That's $60,000 that we need for this project. So on behalf of the company, we'll get it started, and we'll donate $10,000. Okay? That means that we lack 50, and we've already collected from those of you that have purchased the pins, and I want you to let you know, I just don't grab this backstage and wear it, I actually pay for it. So I take it that important. Hold on a second, Carrie. Wait, okay, Carrie's yelling, I'll do 10. Okay.
I don't know if this works. Hey, we did not want to be left out. We were in the back, and we're going to make a donation ourselves. We're putting $1,000 in ourselves as well.
Okay. So, hold on 1 second. So we lack $33,000 at $250. Oh, excuse me, $250. Is that what it's? $249. Yes, $249, $250. That would be about 30. We would need about 130 people. Now I know that all of you may not have $250, and I totally get that. $1 would be great. $5, $10, anything. But one thing I like about our leaders, setting the proper example. So we have Tyler that came up and said that they would do $1,000. So that now we're down to $32,000. And Carrie? Okay, we got another 1,000 over here. Carrie said 10. I should have started out with 10.
Carrie said 10?
Carrie said 10.
Wow.
Carrie gives me $2,000. If I had a string of things, I'd give this to you. I'll just give you right now with this. On me, sorry. I'll put one on Tyler because I don't know that I'd get one on that dress right now. Okay, so calculation 33, 23, 21, or 22, 21. Good job, Albertsons.
Let's go.
Is there anyone else that could, if you can, and you can commit to buy a $250 pin, could you stand up? I need about 100 people. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Hey, just a reminder for everyone. Our store closes today at 3 o'clock, okay? So it closes at 3. So those of you that can donate, please do so over the lunch break. Thank you. Another big round of applause for I think that's great culture. I hadn't anticipated the run-ins, but thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Now to our LifeVantage heroes. Anna Merrill was born with what is still to this date an unnamed birth defect. Her mother was faced with a decision that would impact Anna's life forever. Yet when Anna was only a toddler, she was forced to choose between putting Anna in braces to potentially give to a little girl the remote chance to someday walk, but face the pains of arthritis for the remainder of her life, or do nothing but provide physical comfort to Anna with the knowledge that she would never walk. Anna's mother chose to at least give her daughter a fighting chance to walk on her own. So Anna was fitted with, as her husband affectionately refers to them, her Forrest Gump braces. As you can imagine, this made things very difficult for Anna. Her feet were turned in, and she had a hard time walking because her bones and her muscles were not growing together. But the braces did provide stability and helped keep her bones and muscles structurally intact. By the age of 2, Anna began to experience the pain from the arthritis. And by age 21, the arthritis had progressed so badly that Anna began pain management drug therapy treatments. She began a regimen of cortisone treatments every few months and 800 milligrams of ibuprofen every single day. Anna lived as normal a life as anyone could while living with pain. The agonizing decision that her mother made many years prior at least gave Anna the ability to walk. Flashing forward, Anna is married to her loving husband, Lauren. Good job, Lauren. They were first introduced to LifeVantage in Pro Tandem while on a beach in California nearly 2 years ago. Anna was hesitant and finally skeptical to try Protandim because she had tried so many different products and none provided much relief. Anna figured, what do I have to lose? And became a preferred customer. After taking Protandim for nearly 6 months, Anna felt a difference in her pain levels. She began reducing the frequency of her cortisone treatments and now hasn't had a cortisone shot in what will be 2 years this coming October. And over those same 2 years, she has only needed to take ibuprofen a handful of times. But that's not where the story ends. Anna and Lauren had discovered their why. After being preferred customers for 1 year, they enrolled as distributors based solely on their belief they had in Protandim and the impact it was having in their lives and now the lives of their children. Doctors who were treating Anna and her children are now Anna and Lauren's customers and using LifeVantage products. Anna and Lauren are now coaches for the Unified Special Olympics. Their story is now creating interest within the parent groups of the Special Olympians. They have now achieved the rank of Pro 3. And are actively working to better the lives of others. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to all of you a true LifeVantage hero, Anna Merrill. That we don't have the heroes speak because we feel that their story is so powerful, it says everything. So, with keeping with that tradition, I want to ask their daughter Charlotte if she could say a few words, and I'm going to ask you a question. Your mother's a hero, okay? And she hasn't let her fear stop her. Do you let your fear stop you?
No. I not keep it going. I love to sing Let It Go. Each of us have fears inside ourselves, afraid to share them or to try new things, keeping hidden feelings and fears inside can hurt us. We are living in the kingdom all alone. I get afraid to try new things because of my cerebral palsy. I love music and I love to sing, but my muscles make it hard to make my body work right. Letting go means to overcome these fears and do not let them control us and be who we want to be. It's time to see whatever we can do to test the limits and break through. No rules for us, we are free. We can do and be whatever we want to be. Let it go!
6,000 people. So, Charlotte, you're awesome. And she couldn't do that a year ago, so congratulations. As Justin said earlier, I think we just ought to end the program there. All right, now for our second hero. Eric was one of the original distributors who sacrificed to get LifeVantage off the ground. He worked with several of our current Master Pro 10 distributors to create a tap leg to provide more stability for the company. To date, that leg now boasts more than 65 elite distributors. He put nearly 250,000 miles on his car in the first 18 months, not because he couldn't fly, but because he wanted to hit every little town along the way between the bigger markets. While at the level of Premier Pro 6, Eric shattered his shoulder in a skiing accident while celebrating with his LifeVantage leadership. That injury left Eric with severe chronic pain in his primary arm, a pain that he still deals with today. And yet he came back to build his organization again and achieve the rank of Master Pro 10 in the following years. 8 months ago, Eric was shot in a tragic hunting accident and lost his lower leg. Regardless of what life hands him, Eric continues to get back up. He finds joy in continuing to teach, mentor, and inspire those of you who want to improve your lives. He continues to remain committed to all of the people and all the families he has promised to help. Here is a man who has been through so much adversity in his life. He doesn't continue because of need. Eric continues because he cares about everyone's success. No matter what life presents him with, he will continue to get back up. Eric has continued to face every challenge and forge on. We are truly honored to have him here with us today. It is with great pleasure that I welcome to the stage a true LifeVantage hero, Master Pro 10, Eric Albertson.
Can you hear me? How wonderful is that? It is a great honor to introduce our next power couple to the stage. I actually reached out to a couple of their fellow 10s to get some words that would describe them. Brilliant, genuine, strategic, committed, professional golf hustler. Dedicated, hilarious, knowledgeable, relentless, passionate, horrible basketball players when playing against their daughter Maddie. Visionary and great mentors. Please help me welcome Tyler and Tasha Daniels.
You got it.
Well, hey, thanks you guys. It's been a little while since we've been up on this stage. How's everybody doing? I gotta tell you, I hope you guys feel the same way I do about this venue. Do you love this venue? From up here, it feels like you're kind of like hugging us a little bit. It's kind of awesome. So it's kind of cool. So, you guys, we're kind of like the Smokey and the Bandit up here. We got a long ways to go and a short time to get there. So we're going to try to get through this thing pretty quick, all right? You know, I travel around this country and we do premier schools all over the place. A lot of you guys have been to those premier schools. They're about 4 hours long. We do a lot of training. One of the biggest requests I get as I travel around these premier schools is, how come your wife doesn't come and talk to us?
Some of you wife.
So I thought, well, I don't know. I guess there's always got to be a first, right? So a couple days ago, she looked at me and she said, you know what, Tyler? I think I have something to say. And I thought, that's awesome, right? She said, you know, I think that people really need to hear what you had to go through. I think people really need to hear how negative I was, how unsupportive I was. I want to give people some hope. I want to give them some belief. I want to encourage them. I want to give them a little bit of empowerment. I want to show them that even if you have a really negative person in your life, even if it's your spouse, you can still make it. Right? You can still make it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the best I can to kind of set her up. I'm going to give you guys a really brief history of what we went through. I'm going to just kind of give an overview of it so that she can jump into what she's doing. A lot of you guys have heard the story about how we met. We met in the military. We were in the Air Force. How many military people do we have out there? We appreciate you guys. We were at Mountain Air Force Base. That's where we met. 2 weeks after we met, we got married. Is that crazy? It's made it 23 years.
Best years of my life.
Best years of my life. So please list. Okay, so 23 years. We also got introduced to Amway in that time, or while we were in the military, we got introduced to New Skin. After those experiences, we told each other we were never, ever doing it again. Can anybody relate? Any of you guys done the whole pinky swear thing? We took it a step further and we mixed blood. We signed contracts. We said we're not doing this thing again. And so I became a real estate appraiser. She became an insurance adjuster, and we just kind of did our thing. Well, I'm going to fast forward through all those experiences and get to the point where I decided to get back into this game. I got a phone call from a friend of mine named Bill Toffer, and he called me up and invited me over to his house. He had me and one other person coming to the house, the lady across the street. So these guys are coming from a...
Molly.
What was that?
Molly.
Oh, Molly. Molly. She remembers her name, Molly. So we show up, and the meeting was, I mean, it was exciting, and, you know, I was super, super happy to be there. I mean, it was so exciting, you guys, that Molly fell asleep. So they focused all their attention on me. I mean, that's how this thing works. I mean, if she's asleep, what are you going to talk to? You're going to focus all your attention on the other guy, right? And I'd been warned before I got there. Tasha had already told me. She goes, you know, we make deals. Don't you do this. We have a commitment, right? So I sat there and I listened, and they talked to me. Well, after about 4 hours, and that's how long we're going to be up here today. After about 4 hours, they looked at me and they said, listen, if you'll sign up, we'll come back in 2 weeks. If we don't show up, you can quit. And I said, well, do I get my money back? And they go, yeah, you get your money back. So I'm thinking, this is no problem at all, right? I mean, I'll test these guys. I want to see how committed they really are to this thing. So I signed up that night, even though Tasha and I had all these commitments to one another. And I came home, and I walked home, and Tasha goes, where have you been for 4 hours? And I'm like, honey, you know, this is how I'm going to do it. She goes, you better not have signed up in that thing. We had deals, right? And so I said, you have nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said I had absolutely nothing to worry about. So what does that mean? Does that mean no? Because in my mind, I'm kind of like, yeah, I can go to bed now and not have anything to worry about. The next day, the phone rings. I pick it up. It's Bill. It's little buddy Bill. And he goes, hey, are you mad? And I said, about what? And he goes, oh shit! And he hung the phone up. I was sitting there with the phone and I was like, you have got to be kidding me, right? This guy just went and spent more money on another network marketing company. I was pissed off. So I slammed the phone down. This is what I did, ladies, because we all know that everything is fair in love and war, right? I grab his credit card, I get in my car, and I drive 119 miles up to Provo, and Mama's going shopping. Right? So I'm at the Mac counter, and I am burning it up. I am buying whatever I want. He's calling, my phone starts ringing. I'm like, ignore, ignore, ignore. Yeah, you were doing what you wanted to do last night, so it's my turn now. So I'm buying myself in Nordstrom, and I'm walking along, and I'm just buying whatever I want, whatever I want. So I'm burning up his credit card, he's burning up my phone. It is a war. So I find myself in the purse department, and I'm like, oh, this Grauman bag that I kind of had my eyes on for a while. Do you think you bet your ass I bought that bag. I bought that bag. I got in my car. I pedaled to the metal home. I'm feeling good. I'm still ignoring all his phone calls, right?
That's true.
Still ignoring all his phone calls. Get home, get out of my car, got all my bags. Okay? And he goes, what's this? And I said, oh, honey, you have nothing to worry about. Now we're being honest with each other, right? So I was still honest, and I said, you know what? I'm out. I am not doing this again. I am not letting you speak to my friends. I am not letting you speak to my family. I will not have strangers in my home. I will not be the only person to raise our children. I will not do an auto ship. I will not store product. I will not pretend to be nice to people. I will not do these things that I don't want to do. Right? Not doing it again. Not. So you're on your own, but for now, you have the couch. So go live on it. It's on the couch, seriously.
I was there.
Because he just had to sign up into another network marketing company. So exciting. So good. So.
I'm not sure this was a good idea.
Another network marketing company, and I'm thinking he's the biggest idiot on the planet, again. And then his check shows up. His check shows up, people! And I'm like, that's not a bad check. So he does something brilliant. He buys me diamond earrings to get onto the couch. I'll give him that, too. You can give him that, right? Right, big guy? Diamond earrings?
This was an expensive thing.
And then, and if you've ever heard him talk before, you've heard him say this, I'm sure. It's one of his little funnies that he likes to tell. He also got me LASIK eye surgery so that I could get...
She needed vision, right? You gotta have some vision. You needed vision. Somebody LASIK eye surgery. You gotta see where we're going.
Because you do need vision. So let's talk about vision just for 1 second. You need it to know where you are, and you need it to know where you're going. I did not understand that. It seems simple. It seems like a simple concept, right? Cue me, baby.
Cue me. So, I know that stuff's all funny, but the truth is that she actually saw the whole network marketing thing.
I did. That's right. I actually saw this opportunity months before Tyler did. So, and I saw nothing, by the way. I saw absolutely nothing. I'm like, not interested. And so, let me just tell you, let me just paint the picture for you. It was a very hot southern Utah summer's day. It was record-breaking heat, okay? And so this guy, he comes up and he's dressed in a three-piece suit in the middle of June. Eyes busting out his head, right? Red tie sits straight up his neck, just sweat pouring off of his forehead. Saying, hey, would you like to make some money? I can tell you how to make some money. I'm like, this guy's a network marketer for sure. And either way, I'm totally out. I'm totally not interested. But I do want to make fun of him. So he goes into my friend's house, and they're, talking about doing this thing. They're going to be rich. And I'm barking insults from the living room, and I'm like, hey, are you drawing circles yet? I'll bet you're drawing some circles. I ordered 5, gonna sign up 5 and get 5. That's so exciting. You, buddy, are gonna be a millionaire, right? So I have my fun. I go home, talking to Tyler later that evening, and I'm like, yeah, the guy with the suit, he showed up today in a 3-piece suit in the middle of June. And we're gonna be rich, and Amy and Bill, they're gonna be rich. And
we're laughing, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm like, plus, who has the last name Niederhauser anyway? Niederhauser?
Can you believe that?
And I'm like, okay, well, I'll tell you one who does. It's one who had vision. It's one who didn't give up. It's one who was willing to do whatever it took to get his family what they deserved, even if it meant putting on a 3-piece suit in the middle of June. It is one of the best network marketers that I know. Thank you, Marcel. The meter beaters will always be family to us. So thank you. So let me take 1 minute to just address the negative and condescending. Is there any other words that you like to use? Condescending, ignorant people in the audience. I was you. I was you, and I just need to tell you that if you instead of sabotage and insults, if you will just change that into empowerment and support. Instead of sabotage and insults, change that into support and encouragement. It will change your life. It will change your life. The action of your choices will change your life later. It will determine your direction. Because I didn't have it. So I want to thank Tyler actually for not listening to me this one time. It did change the direction of my life. And now, wee, little girl. Little grandfather. Okay, so thank you. Love you.
You did it. You brought her out. What do you think? Let me back that stuff up, you guys. I know there's a lot of you unsupported people out there. I know there's a lot of negative people in the audience. Let me help you guys out with something. While you're making your little comments out there to whoever brought you here and trying to talk them out of this thing, but all of us up here, all of us sitting on this stage, we're laughing at you, not with you. You know, we all have those people in our lives. Even after Tasha stopped doing those things to me, after she stopped sabotaging and insulting me, we still had those people in our lives. We had a lot of people trying to tell us these things don't work. Have you ever heard that? We've heard that. Well, a lot of you guys have also heard the story about the banker. Remember the banker story? Where I banked at his bank and had the teller put my deposit slips on his desk after I made them? That was a lot of fun. Right or wrong, I got a lot of satisfaction out of that, especially as they got bigger and bigger and bigger and he had to move banks because he didn't want it to happen anymore. You know, looking back at those times, you guys, I realized that there were a lot of fools that we surrounded ourselves with back in those days. A lot of fools. A lot of people that had opinions. A lot of people that had uneducated opinions. A lot of people that thought they knew more about this, but yet they were sitting right in the cubicle next to us, right? These people that want to tell you these things don't work. Do they work? These things work, don't they? Yeah, I had a lot of people look at us after we started down this path, after telling us it wouldn't work, and it started to work. They would look at us and they would say things, or their conversation kind of changed from, you know, that thing isn't going to really work for you, to well, you guys are changing. Have any of you guys heard any of that? Well, you guys are changing. Well, you're damn right we are. We don't want to sit in that cubicle next to you anymore. Right? We listened yesterday to one of the biggest, most famous guys of this industry, the guy that talks about changing your paradigm. We listened to Bob Proctor. How many of you guys enjoyed Bob Proctor? What did he tell us? He said you need to find somebody who has what you want and do what? Do exactly what they did. You guys remember hearing that? Because he said it over and over and over again, didn't he? So why are you guys listening to these people? Why are you listening to these fools that we've surrounded ourselves with? Why are you going home from here as a Pro 2 or 3 and listening to those same people who don't want you to be a Pro 4 or 5? Why are you doing that? Do they have what you want? No. Do they? No. They don't have what you want, so find somebody that has what you want, right? Okay? All right, you guys, I want to jump into a couple other things because I want to do man, our clock goes by so fast. I want to talk about a couple other things, you guys. How many of you guys would like to know how Marcel and I did this early on? Anybody want to know how we did it? Skip says he'll give me another minute. I need about 10. So let me tell you what I've learned, you guys. As I've been in this process, there are a few things that I've learned. One of the things that I learned is that I had a very, very difficult time trying to convince people to do network marketing if I spent my whole time trying to just talk about LifeVantage. I would spend an hour or two with them thinking that it was strong enough to convince them that whatever they thought about network marketing was enough. How many of you guys are doing that? None of you? Okay. Well, I was doing it all the time. What I had to realize is that the biggest issue people had was really with the industry, not the company. Wouldn't you agree? It was a network marketing issue, an MLM issue. It wasn't a LifeVantage issue. I also realized that if I had to talk to 100 people to find my group, to find my enrollers, to find that team, to find that army of mine, if I had to talk to 100 people, why would I spend an hour on each one of them only to find 10 that would do it? That's 100 hours. Why would I do that? Why wouldn't I attack the network marketing conversation first? Why would I just do that? I can do that in 5 or 6 minutes. I can talk to 100 people really, really fast if I do it that way, can't I? So I learned a couple questions. You guys want to know what those questions are? People give me whatever their comment was, and I say, well, does anybody ever make it? What do you think? They do, right? Well, who are they? Who are they? That's the natural question. Who are they? The ones who get in at the very, very end? Or the ones that grow with the company? Which one? The big ones, the ones who make it, are the ones that go out and help capture that footprint, the ones that create the exposure, right? They're the ones that do it. So I realized, let's get over the network marketing question. Let's find out whether a company can actually let us be one of those people, because if they can, LifeVantage looks like a really big, bright, shiny company inside the walls of network marketing, doesn't it? Doesn't it? So does anybody make it? Who are they? And if we can be one of them, why wouldn't we want to look? And I started to ask other questions like this. If I had a magic wand, and I could turn the clock back on any of the big ones, the Nu Skins, the Amways, the Mary Kays, right? If I had a magic wand and I could turn the clock back on any of those companies, would I join if I could make it perfect? Would you? Knowing what you know today, if you could make it perfect, would you join? I would. Let me tell you something. It could be Mary Kay, and if I had a magic wand, I'd turn that clock back to the perfect time, and I'd figure out what Marcel's best color is. That's what I would do. I would show up in my pink Cadillac, proud, right, if I had a magic wand. So what does that look like? The conversation becomes really easy if you can figure out what perfect looks like, because it looks a lot like us. You guys, 7 years ago we started this project and we were hoping that this day would come. 7 years ago we had like a dream board. We had a list of things that we really hoped would happen. Let's talk about the last year. Has Darren made a difference? What's Darren done? I mean, really, what's Darren done in the last year? Well, he's only put us in the 4 biggest categories in network marketing, right? He's only improved or added to our product catalog to the 4 biggest categories out there. Is that a big deal? That's a big deal. He's only looked at the corporate staff and kept the very best of the best, and then complimented them with a whole bunch more of the best of his experience. Wouldn't you agree? You guys appreciate that? See, 7 years ago, we were hoping and praying for the day that we would have somebody leading this company with experience. He's got 26 years of it. And he's bringing it to us. We were hoping for that day. Is it good? He's only created initiatives that are encouraging us and motivating us and inspiring us to go out and have the biggest quarter we've ever had. And the smallest one we're ever going to have. Would you agree? Okay. Well, people are taking notice of this, you guys. People are taking notice of this very thing. Did you see what Forbes wrote about us? Number 1 in Utah, 5 overall. Is that a big deal? An invite to the Russell 3000. What do you think that does? Think that gives us any exposure? What do you think? Okay? Is that a big deal? The stock has only doubled and on its way to tripling in the last 6 months. Anybody happy about that? I mean, does the story really get any better than this? Really? Does it? Product placement in movies, NIA studies that just coincidentally came out, right? Who knows about the NIA study? Well, if you don't, here's my plug for the meeting after lunch. Don't miss it. Okay? Dr. Chevro, one of our favorites, right? Dr. Chevro, one of our favorites. Natalie's on this stage right after lunch. And she's going to talk to you about an NIA study. That's what she's going to do. And she's going to talk to you about words like proven. Who has that? Who has proven? We do. That's who has it. We have it. It says proven. This industry has been begged. Companies have been begged. Where's your proof? We have it. It's proven. We didn't even do the study. 10-year study, NIA. Subsidiary of the National Institutes of Health, right? Is that a big deal? You guys realize I think that's the biggest deal of all of them, personally. It's not isolated to one thing. It is across the board. Who's happy about that? Look, if you can't tell that story, you can't tell any story. I'm just telling you right now, everybody wants that product now, right? Everybody wants it. Darren gave us a bunch of stats in the elite meeting. He talked about a few more things earlier today. He gave us stats from the DSA. It talks about why people join. It talks about why they stay, right? I'm not even going to try to recite them. I took a picture of his notebook last night and I can't read it. But he has it, and he'll give it to you, okay? It's the way this game is played. If you want it, he'll give it to you, okay? It's D. Jensen and... That was for you, Justin. Love you, man. All right. All right. He'll give it to you if you want it. All right? Let's talk about something else he talked about yesterday at the elite meeting. He said that 2.64% of this company does 65% of the enrollments. They're the hyper enrollers. 2.64 of you are the hyper enrollers? Really? Is that embarrassing? What do you have to do to be a hyper enroller? What did he tell us? 10, that's it, 10. You got to do 10. 2.64% of us have enrolled 10 people. Do you realize if you come out of this meeting, if you come out of here on fire, learning all the stuff that's been taught to you, and you simply get 10 people, you're in the top 3% of this company? Who doesn't want to be in the top 3%? Right? Is there anybody in here that doesn't want that? You guys, the top 3% is good. It's really, really good. You realize that if all the things that Darren is putting into play right here takes this company from 200 to $1 billion, the 3% of $1 billion is $30 million that you'll have running through your organization. You'll be 2.5 to 3 times qualified for the top. If you just go become a hyper enroller, who's not doing that? I mean, come on, you guys. You guys want to know how to do that? You guys want to know what separates hyper enrollers from everyone else? Do you? I'm going to raise something to you really quick. I had Trent Lister and Dave Putty put together something for me. They found this on the DSA. They teach on this, and so I thought, man, I want that. I want to talk about this up there. This is what hyper enrollers do. Have you ever heard the phrase, the fortune is in the follow-up? Okay, we know this, right? We know the fortune is in the follow-up, right? So let's talk about follow-up for just a second. This is what the DSA says. They said that 48% of the people will follow up one time. The result of that is that you will be 2% successful. That's it. 48% of the people will follow up one time and you'll be 2% successful. 24% will follow up a second time and you'll be 3% successful. 14% of you will follow up a third time and you will be 4% successful. That doesn't sound good, does it? 12% of you will follow up a fourth time. Okay? 12% of you a fourth time. And you will now jump to being 10% successful. That's it. 10%. And here's the trick. If you want to be a hyper enroller, if you want to be one of those 3%, it's on the 5th time. But only 6% of you will do this 5 times. You'll follow up 5 times. That's it. But the success ratio goes to 81%. .64% of us do 65% of the work. If I'm sitting in those chairs, if you're me, and some of you got to know me a little bit over the years, if you're me, I'm highly competitive. If I've only got to do 10 enrollments to be in the top 3% and pass 97% of the rest of you, man, I'm all in. Right? I'm all in. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with this. If you want what we have, okay? If you want what we have, you've got to become a student of this game. You've got to become a student of this game. You've got to play this game hard. You've got to play the game to win. You've got to do what Bob Proctor said. You need to find somebody who has what you want and do exactly what they did. Enjoy your lunch. Don't miss Dr. Chevrolet.
Please welcome back to the stage, Jessica Alarcon.
Wasn't it great to see Tasha on stage, right? Who agrees with me? Tasha was a great presenter, and we thank Tyler and Tasha for being here with us tonight. Now, I'm going to go over a few housekeeping items. I know you guys are hungry and you want to run fast, but I want to go over with you a few things. The first thing is we want you guys to register for Elite Academy. The easiest way to get there is if you go to our website and go to My Account, then go to Event Registration. We have about 300 people right now registered, and we want to give away 6 registrations for the next Elite Academy in Orlando. So we encourage you to go and get registered right now because we will be giving those away.
Well, guys, we're going to go to lunch. I hear some of you are having issues with your connections. I'm sorry. The way Periscope works, it's 2 connections, your connection and my connection. When I see that there's an issue, I'll turn off the Periscope and I'll restart it, like I did halfway through on this session. I'll make sure that I go ahead and charge everything up so we're good for the last session of the day. And I wish you guys the best. We got to put this all into movement, massive action. Yeah, have a good lunch. We'll talk to you later.
If we don't like anything, Harold, we'll just...